Excellency for the committee of this competition, honorable fellow judges, and all the audiences. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Astamelia, and I'm from Mahmudiyah Integrated Islamic Senior High School. Now, I will talk about the importance of education for the younger generation. So, yesterday I read a story about an old man on Instagram account at Proud Project. He said that he didn't graduate from elementary school because he had to work since he was 13 years old. But he had a dream to be able to perform the pilgrimage. To achieve his dream, he slowly had to save money so he could go on pilgrimage. Until he finally had enough savings, and then he deposited into a Hajj travel company. When he was in Jakarta to leave, he had not received his visa and passport. It turns out he was lied to by the company. He said, "So what? Maybe it's because I lack education, so I'm easily deceived." After I read the story, I felt sad and I realized how important education is. Okay, now, what's the meaning of education? According to Ki Hajar Dewantara, educating and teaching is a process of humanizing humans, so that it must liberate humans and all aspects of life both physically, mentally, and spiritually. Why is education so important for the younger generation? As we know from the previous story, that education has an important role in life. In addition, education also has an important role to advance the nation. If the people's education is left behind, the population will also experience difficulties in adapting and facing pressure from the outside world. Well, here I will explain three things about the importance of education for the younger generation. The first is, with education, we can advance the nation's civilization. For progress to occur, the next generation need to work to correct the mistakes of the previous generation. However, the younger generation first need to be educated on these issues in order to achieve that goal. Example of developments in education that are influenced by developments in science and technology include the development of media and learning resources, curriculum development, and easier access to learning. This is done to develop education as well as progress for the current generation. Secondly, as a support for the future to live a better life. What do young people need to prepare for the future? The answer is skills that can be occupied and basic skills that must be possessed. Skills are divided into two, the first soft skill and the second hard skill. Soft skills are a person's characteristic in terms of communication skill, social intelligence, and also his ability to adapt well in everyday life. And hard skill that can be measured and assessed. For example of hard skill is math skill, programming language, information technology skill, graphic design, or foreign language skill. With this, the younger generation can be better prepared for the future. Third, to eradicate ignorance. With education, we can be free from ignorance. Schools have a very important role as a means of education. Even so, we cannot only rely on school as a place to learn and add insight, because there are still many things that are not taught in school. The narrowness of insight that is on will be a source of stupidity is only natural that the younger generation has to fight the real enemy if they don't want to be left behind. Children who are initially clueless learn more and broaden their horizon as a result of attending school. Ultimately, this will help develop a superior generation of future leaders who are experts in various fields. So, based on what I have described earlier, the younger generation is at the forefront in building the nation and as the nation's next generation. where the current generation must have broader capabilities and knowledge for the future. Therefore, the progress of a country depends on the younger generation and the education they get. Well, I hope that we, as the younger generation, can be even more enthusiastic about education. Okay, finally, I'm Sasta and thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.